Well, today is the 1st of January 2022, so Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
And we've come down to Illetas. We had a suggestion that we should video Illetas from this side. So when we normally come down to Illetas, we go to the far side where there's a military base, and we usually go to that military beach and just video around that area. And when we do Cas Catala or when we do San Agustin, we tend to stop at this point and not go any further. So today we're going to take those few steps and we're going to go into Illetas from this side and show you a little bit around the area. It is a little bit breezy and a bit cooler today, and there's a few clouds, but notice there's some steps here to go up to the Playa, La Gargola, the gargoyle, and it's actually just outside a block called Rocca Marina, and there is this little garden area and this gargoyle. More about that in a moment. And this is somewhere I've never actually been up to. I think I've driven past here 1,000,001 times, but missed this particular area. I never actually come up here. When he's a little bird, a little duck, as we say in Stoke. So we're actually just behind the sign where we've just made that little video to start, and there's a nice little garden here with some seating as well. And the significance of this and the significance of the gargoyle is that this is where perhaps the most famous swashbuckler in movie history set up his home in the 1950s, and that was Errol Flynn. And he came to Mallorca and fell in love with it, and stayed here for some time with what was then, I think, I'm not sure, second wife, I don't know. So I'm just going to come round to the front of this gargoyle, because I think that might be all that is left of the house that he had here in Illetas. And just up this little cul-de-sac here, there is an access to the Playa. More about Errol Flynn later on. I'm going to have a look at the access to the Playa. So it's a cul-de-sac which leads to the apartment block, and it looks as though the beach gate might even be closed today. Can't see how they can close that. I'll have a look. Hola, ¿está abierto o no? Sí. Sí, muy bien. Gracias.
De nada, usted. Feliz año.
Hola, feliz año. Gracias.
So there was a gate, and there was a lock on the gate, but the gate's open, and we just passed down this little passageway, which gives us access to the beach. Now again, I think this is one that people don't normally see unless they are staying in this apartment block, and so might not come down to this little beach. We're going to make our way down. Lots of steps. And another gate. I can see that this particular gate is in fact open. You might wonder why we've got gates on the beach. And here we've got a lovely little sort of sandy beach, and I think maybe I have been to this beach before, but I actually swam from around near the next beach around, the Son Bougainvillas beach. Son Bougainvillas beach. It is actually quite a nice little bay. The water's very clear and very calm today, and you can see just up to the right here is one of the big hotels, which is on the entrance to the Illetas.
We have a photo.
And we'll have the little pause for the photo shoot. So I've just walked to the far end of the beach, and Anita's wandering along there, sending off her New Year's photo to everyone. And from this point we can see the apartments, which are just on the edge of this particular beach. And in the distance, just over there, that's Marivent. That's the Marivent Palace. This is the Marivent Palace, which is where the King of Spain comes to spend summer holidays, usually July, August, that sort of time. And there was actually a report in the newspaper last week that the King Juan Carlos, the former King of Spain, who's now disgraced due to his philanderings and money laundering or whatever, all of that seems to have been brushed under the table. There was a report last week that suggested that he would be coming to spend his retirement here in Marivent, but it was on the Day of the Innocents, which is the equivalent of the Spanish April Fool's Day, so there is actually no foundation within that. There we are, we've got a few ducks, a few more just joining them. You can see there. There they are. Very calm water here. Oh, we've left the beach now and we're just entering Illetas, and you can see the different spelling perhaps on the sign across the road. One is the first one you saw, which is the Spanish spelling, and then this is the Catalan Mallorquin spelling. And this little block of shops, offices, banks is relatively new, or at least it's only been here for the last 20 or so years, or maybe a few more than that actually, 30 or so. It wasn't here, I don't think, when we first came, or maybe it was very new then. But this is where I've been told or asked to start the video, and bar across the road, which has been there for probably as long as that, which is 30 years, is the Rose Mallow. And pleased to see that it is still there, not open today, or at least not open at the moment. It's a bank holiday today. It's the 1st of January 2022, so this is our first video of the new year, and we're now entering Illetas. And over the years, Illetas has become more and more built up, and as we go around you're going to see that, with a few older buildings still in existence, like the one across the road, which is derelict and bricked up. One wonders what that might be worth. But that's opposite the Gran Meliá de Mar, which is again closed up at the moment. Illetas is a sort of a one-road town. It's sort of the road that goes in and the road that comes out. There is another entrance which is via Bendinat, and I can't remember whether that was originally there or not, but this is sort of the way that you come in and the way that you would normally come out. And there is a circular route around Illetas as well to drive around. This hotel to the left is big and brown. We can actually see it from the little beach down below. It's all chained up and closed up at the moment, but has wonderful views. You can perhaps see some of those views here over the Bay of Palma. So all of the apartment blocks along this left hand side will have amazing views over the sea, which is what's attracted it to people who've been coming to the island over the years. and the older apartment blocks on the other side have had their view seriously blocked, and I guess that's had some effect on their value. But it's still quite an exclusive area, because it's very close to Palma, very close to the airport, and it does have some very nice beaches. So the first little one we've been to is just a very small beach. It does have some bigger sandy beaches, and we'll come up to those in just a moment. And it does have a very good bus service, in fact an excellent bus service. Used to run every 10-15 minutes, the number 3 bus. This is the number 4 bus. Not sure what the numbers are now. It's a bendy bus, and it's a bank holiday. They are running today. We're just coming up to another hotel on the left hand side, which is the part of the Bonsall group, and this one is the Albatross. And we have had a Masonic Ladies Night here in the past. They have their own car park across the road. They've got their Christmas lights, and there's people inside, so this particular hotel is actually open. Across the road there's a little passageway that goes, I think, perhaps through to the car park, which is on the other side of this, on the main road. So earlier on I was showing you the gargoyle, which I'm fairly sure comes from the house that Errol Flynn lived in. And here is a memorial to Errol Flynn, which is from the Association of Vecinos, the residents here of Cas Catala and Illetas, and they are paying homage to Errol Flynn and his then wife, which was Patricia Wymore, and the fact that they lived here in Illetas. They actually lived in various places. One of them was the Mallorca Hotel, which is just before you get to Illetas. And they lived on their boat, the Zaca, for quite a while. I think Errol Flynn was a great sailor and used to spend a lot of time on his boat. They had a house built here, and as we go further up into Illetas, we will come to the Bonsall Hotel, which is another place where they spent a lot of their time while they were here in Majorca. So the Errol Flynn story started when he got married, and I believe he got married to Patricia in Monaco, and they set sail from Monaco on his sailing yacht, the Zaca. And the story says that they were heading to Gibraltar, but the weather wasn't so good, and they sheltered in Playa on the north of Mallorca, and they enjoyed that, and they sailed around and then got to Palma, where they dropped anchor, and that's when they began to fall in love with Mallorca and stayed on the boat and in the hotels that I've mentioned, the Hotel Maricel and the Bonsall, and then actually had a house here which sadly no longer exists, but I have seen photographs of the house, and might try and look some of those out to include in the video if I can find them again. So we're just heading down now by the side of the Albatross, and there are a few steps down. So Anita's just saying, be careful, be careful. She's saying it silently so you can't hear her, but I know that she's saying it to me. And these few steps lead us down to a viewing point where we can have a little look over the bay and spot the sights. There's a little park area for the children and some seating for us maybe. It's nice to see that this hotel is open. It's a very nice hotel inside, got a lovely terrace here. I think we were on the upper terrace when we had our ladies' night here, and we certainly enjoyed the views out over the Bay of Palma. Down another flight of steps, and just to the left we've got the sun lounging for the hotel, and then this little area here where we can have a look out over the sea, and there's a few steps down. We might just have a look down the few steps more. And again, Anita's just saying, be careful.
Be careful, hold on. Smell down here. Yes, yeah, this is lovely.
But yes, there are.
So we have actually found a few steps which will take us down. Actually get down to the water. Don't think we're going to go for a dip today. This is actually another part that I have never actually ventured to. Some more steps down, so we could actually go down the steps and dive into the sea. And you could perhaps walk around a little bit of the headland. There's a boat out on the sea that looks like a rescue boat. Apparently there isn't another exit to get up to the main road, so
It's swimming out there.
we're going to have to go up those steps. Someone swimming out there? Anita says she's spotted someone swimming out there, so have a look. There we are. There is indeed someone swimming out there. So they were swimming out and now they're swimming in the opposite direction. But wow, they're a long way out. There's always one looking for flowers, and here we are looking down at the seaweed. These beautiful little white crystals, is it? Or are they actually flowers, or are they crystals of salt? They look very pretty, whichever. We've made it back to the road. I was a little bit out of breath, so we had a little pause. Illetas is a little bit up and down, and there is not a lot of parking, so normally we would park just out of Illetas and walk in. Though when we come to Illetas, it's normally to the far side, and at that point there is a little car park which in the winter time is free, but during the summer you pay. And a few years ago we did actually build a car park because there was so little parking. Never actually used this, but it's really quite a strange place to find a multi-storey car park. It's the Zodiac Apartments, Zodiac Parking. big sign saying that the Bonanza Playa parking is this way, because the next hotel up on the left hand side is the Bonanza Playa, another very nice hotel here in Illetas. It does get very noisy when the cars come by. Not many cars in that car park. So this is, just to our left is the Bonanza Playa. Which looks as though they're undergoing a little bit of refurbishment. The big skips on the outside. This is the Gran Bonanza Playa Hotel, which is the Bonanza Palace Playa, which is a resort and spa, and across the road we have the Bonanza Park Hotel, all part of the same group. Now we're going to head down this road, but before I do that I just want to go up a little bit. This is where the road splits in two. If you're driving you have to go to the right as the cars are going, and then it's a circular route, so you end up coming back up this road that I'm crossing now. But the reason I want to go up here, just 100 meters or so, I'm probably going to be puffing and panting, is to show you the hotel which is coming up on the right hand side. And it is a hotel. I never stayed there, but I've visited and actually came to pick someone up from the hotel, so I did actually go inside and have a look. It is a very nice hotel. It's very oldie worldy, and that's part of the reason for me to walk up here, to show you at least the entrance to this oldie worldy hotel on the right hand side. It's further than I thought. You see the blue lines for parking. They're not in use at this time of the year. So the winter months, the parking meters like this one are all sealed up. So this is the entrance to the Hotel Bonsall. And my reason for wanting to come here is just to show you this other hotel, which is reported to have had Errol Flynn staying. There's a Bonsall, just go up those steps. Look as though it might be open, there's lights on inside. The road carries on round, you can see the cars have to drive that way. But we're going to head back down and go down the road we've just been walking along.
This is a hotel where I do my Zoom gym classes from, so come see.
So we do have another association. Anita with her Zoom gym classes from there. So we're back now down from the Bonsall to the Bonanza Playa, and we're just going to have a little walk around the Illetas. So this is the road that runs the closest to the sea, but you never actually get really close to the sea because it's all built up with apartments and hotels. So the lucky people who are in the apartments will have amazing views out over the sea towards Palma, Playa de Palma, and beyond. It's a funny old day today. We've got a lot of cloud up above. It's not cold, but we've got a lot of cloud cover, and I want to say it's misty, yet I've got a really clear view of the sea line across there. It's very sharp, but the islands in the distance, Cabrera, not easily visible. But look at that amazing view, and that's down into the gardens of the hotel, which, even though it's closed up, the swimming pool's in operation. I can see the pumps on, keeping it a bit clean. On the left here we have an apartment block, and that's followed by another hotel. So we've got a mixture of apartments and hotels all along the seafront here. This one's the Europe Hotels, Playa Marina. Another one that's closed for the winter, which is pretty normal, sort of thing we would expect at this time of the year. And being so hilly there, built up on the right hand side as well. My personal feelings are that they've overbuilt Illetas. There's just too much here now. But it is still very popular, and I think the properties here do have a little bit of a premium to them. We are on the edge of Calvia as well, so this is like the easternmost point of Calvia. Some of the gateways down here lead to what look like quite extraordinary places down below, so you can appreciate why people do come here.
From some friends, they booked to come to Mallorca the 18th to the 28th of April.
April, that's very good. And I've had one or two messages this week from people saying that they've been watching the videos and it's encouraged them to actually book their holidays, some as soon as next week. It will be quiet, though, you've got to expect that. But if the temperatures are fine and it's not raining, it's a time to get out, to go for a walk, and probably go into places like Palma, where there is much more life than there is in the resorts, where places like this will be closed. But it's not beach weather. It's not the time of year to come if you think you're going to spend any time on the beach, unless you're really hardy. As we were leaving the beach, the first beach in the Illetas, there was a young couple putting out their towel to sit on the beach, but I don't think they would be going for a swim today or sunbathing. I think we might have to bring a flask next time you want to do that, dear. Or a little camping stove we'll make our own. All of the bars and the cafes which would normally be buzzing in the summer months are taking a well-earned break, but hopefully they did make some money last summer, and they'll be praying for a much better 2022 as it starts now. We're just coming up to the Hotel Illetas. You see the rubbish bins that we're walking past here. These are emptied every day, at least in our area, every single day. So the bus, we're getting lots of buses going past. But people will find it quite amazing that our bins are emptied 365 days a year. Every single day. So we have to take our bins out every evening. Every evening. Yeah. Well, Anita does. She doesn't let me take the bins down. When these places close up for the winter, they put bin bags over there. Glass lighting, I suppose it helps to prevent water getting in there. And this is the Hotel Rock Illetas. And a few years ago, this is another 4-star hotel. We had one of our graduation parties there from school. So the oldest students organised a little bit of a party, it's a dinner usually. And this was the venue, fantastic terrace. We had cocktails overlooking the sea, and then a wonderful meal. Well, this part's really quite nice to walk along because it's quite flat. You can see on both sides how precious parking is. Realised there was a Pujol Beach here. There we go. Pujol Beach is one of the beach clubs. So we're going to have an attempt to get down the steps here. That's not a problem, it's coming back. So this way to the reception and front desk. It's actually quite pretty here. But we have more steps to go down. Looks as though we can go two ways.
It doesn't get out here.
Anita's just been for a look that way and she suggested we go this way, so we're just going to have a look down a few more steps here. See what we're looking down to. There is a handrail. It's a bit rickety. And we're looking down, and there are people on the sea. Oh dear.
No clothes on as well.
Pardon?
With these swimming shorts things on, but not a wetsuit. Oh! Oh!
That wasn't very safe. Let's look around here. And yes, it looks as though there's a few people in the sea or getting ready to go in the sea. Must be their New Year's resolution. And there's a nice looking boat out on the sea there. There's a few more steps here. Looks a little bit gentler. I can see signposts telling me to go that way to Pujol Beach. We can go that way. Obviously nothing actually is open down here. But maybe we can have a little walk around. The water does look very, very clear.
And very, very cold.
Very cold. There is someone there with a wetsuit on, having a little dip. And in the distance we have the braver taking a dip into that really cold water. So here we are, we're down at what is Pujol Beach, and there's a group of people doing their exercises over that side, so we'll come over this side, and I won't lean too heavily on this rather rickety handrail. I guess this is the place to be in the summer with your sun lounge, but today the bar's closed. See if we can walk down here. Hopefully this isn't slippy. No, it's not. We do have a gate here, interestingly. There's lots of blue lines. The blue lines are indicating that it's a little bit up and down. So where there's a blue line, it goes up or it goes down. Looks as though we can walk around here quite comfortably. We'll get to the next beach. I think there might be a bar open over there.
Good.
Whoops. No blue line and a big drop, so we're going to have to make our way back. That was a little bit dangerous, wasn't it? It's very difficult to tell that everything is the same colour here, and it's not so easy to distinguish which is up and which is down. So the blue lines are actually quite useful. And we're down to a reasonable level now, right by the sea. No sandy beach here, but not in this little part, but rocky beaches where you can, and there are places where they would put steps. I think I can see a couple of anchorages there where they put some steps so you can climb in and out of the water. That's Pujol Beach, and the steps that we've just come down, and see how hilly it is. The surveillance cameras keeping an eye on us, watching us. Nice to see how clean the water is. We've had some stormy weather over the past few months, and usually that brings up lots of mucky water, but it's all very clear now. It's all settled and it's calm, and just nice to hear the rippling of the waves against the rocks here. Luckily there are a few steps. There's even some beds on the beach. Did you hear the car fall? Oh. Well, we're a bit tricky. Shall we go for a little walk along the beach?
Yes, I'd like to have a coffee there.
Investigate, see if there's a bar really open. I'm going to take my time down these steps. They look a little bit precarious. So we're safely down onto the beach. And there's a few people on the beach and a few people in the sea as well. And we're just going to go up to see if that bar really is open, or whether it's just, I'm not quite sure actually. We're going to investigate. Well, we did find somewhere for a coffee as usual. So cheers everyone, we're just going to enjoy our coffee. Happy New Year. Well, we just had a really nice coffee there, and not really good to find a place open. They're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we may come back here again. And there's a few people on the beach, some playing in the water, some playing on the sand, and just sitting enjoying the fresh air. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. We're going to make our way home, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy New Year, and bye for now.
Happy New Year, bye.